Hi, this is Angela with Permaculture. I'm in my front yard garden this morning picking plums. These are Italian prune plums. You can see here's the tree, which I keep quite short. It is right next to my driveway. George and I are just hanging out outside this morning. So we've been having really bad forest fires in the gorge, which is fairly close to here. And we've had really severe air quality the last several days. So with ash falling, and it's not been safe to be outside and doing yard work. So today the air quality is much improved and I'm outside in the garden. So this is a little snippet of the front yard. Keep in mind, we've had a very hot, dry summer. And I try and water minimally. So this is sort of what the front yard is looking like right now. Behind the white sheets are my baby pawpaw trees. You can look at some of my videos on those. Baby peach tree, another plum that'll be ripe in a couple weeks, grape arbor, which I'll be picking from today. So panning back through here, I wanted to talk about some things growing along this back hedge. So this is my neighbor's arborvitae, which the wind comes in from the gorge this way, strong wind from the east, and this actually provides a fantastic windbreak. And right along the hedge here, I'm able to grow some things that are a little more sensitive. So I have some very young feijoas, pineapple guavas, the other name for them. They grow very slowly, so they're 3 years old, but they're just still very small. I have some triple crown thornless blackberries, some other things that are more delicate. And then the plant that I wanted to share with you all today is this one right here, and its cousin down here, which I'll talk about the size difference in a moment. So this plant right here is Lyceum barbarum, the Goji Berry, and the one next to it is its cousin, which is a wolfberry. They're in the same genus, slightly different species. So for whatever reason, I put these plants in at the same time. Our very cold, snowy winter knocked back both of these plants all the way to the ground, and the Goji berry has recovered incredibly well. And the wolfberry, for whatever reason, is having a hard time taking off. So I'm not quite sure. They receive the same amount of water, same amount of protection, same amount of sun, and one is doing really well. So I'm going to focus on this one. So the Goji berry, which again, because the air quality has improved today and there's not tons of ash fall, the bees are all out all of a sudden. Let's see if we can see this bee. Obviously, bees really enjoy the flowers. So Lyceum is in the nightshade family, Solanaceae. However, unlike tomatoes, which are difficult for honeybees to pollinate because of the shape of the flower, and they're typically pollinated more by bumblebees, the Goji berry has these nice, open, really pretty purple little blossoms here, you can see. And bees can easily access those. So I've seen also syrphid flies on these guys pollinating them. So the growth habit of the Goji berry is these floppy canes, as you can see. And anywhere that these fall over and touch the ground, they will end up tip rooting. You'll get another plant. So it's easy for them to form a hedge because they're very floppy. So to keep them controlled and up off the ground, I have them in this narrow cage. As you can see, this one is trying to escape a little bit. So the Goji berry, it flowers for quite a long period of time, and then it produces these very small, these are the immature fruit. And then as we move along here, come back here, you can see these are the mature fruit that are almost ready to be picked. And this is one small plant, and there's going to be a lot of fruit if it all matures in time. So here's some more. So here you can see the purple flower, the green immature fruit, and the red mature fruit all at the same time. And the fruit will hang out for a long time. It doesn't have to be picked immediately, and it doesn't split like tomatoes. Sorry for the car noise. Someone is going along behind me with their aspirated muffler. Okay, so the Goji berry, again, it's in the Solanaceae, so it's related to eggplants and tomatoes and things like garden huckleberry and physalis, things like that. So it is really packed in with a lot of phytonutrients, and it's like considered, a superfood. If you eat the Goji berries raw, if I were to pick one of these Goji berries right here and eat it raw, as I'm dropping it, I'll hold it up for you. if I were to eat this raw, to me it tastes kind of like a bland tomato, but a tiny bit sweeter. I don't think that they're fantastic raw. I prefer to dry them and put them in things like granola and cereal, or just eat them straight dried. But some people like them raw. I just don't think that, I think it's overblown on the internet how amazing they are raw. The flavor becomes concentrated and better when they're dried. Sort of like if you eat a raw apricot, it's kind of meh, but if you cook it, like the flavor, full flavor comes out. Same thing with goji berries. If you dry it, then you really get the full expression of the good qualities, flavor profile of the fruit. So, okay, so a few other tips about growing this plant. It likes full sun, does not like to be watered at all. So because of the severe dry weather, I did a little bit of overhead watering for some of my other plants, and you can see what happens if you overhead water is you get some powdery mildew. It doesn't like excessive watering. It likes a really arid climate. If you live in Central Oregon or Arizona or Southern California, this plant will do very well for you, but it also can tolerate the cold. So stepping back a little bit, you can see I have a comfrey here, baby pawpaw, tomato, Physalis peruviana, and then this is the goji berry. So it'll form these canes that flop over. And I want to keep those pruned back at the end of the season, or I want to let them touch the ground and tip root, and that's a way to propagate them for next season. So one plant, this will probably be 3 times the size when it's fully mature. It is currently 3 years old, but again, it got killed all the way to the ground this past winter. If you have any questions about growing wolfberry, or or goji berry, or if you have any tips on why my goji berry is doing really well and why my wolfberry is not, feel free to leave those in the comment section below. I really think this is a low maintenance, easy plant, and it's a high value plant. Organic dried goji berries run $15 to $18 a pound in our area, and you can get easily, probably 5 pounds of fruit off of one plant, and then dried, probably, I don't know how much that would be dried, maybe like 1 or 2 pounds. So it is a high value crop. They're easy to harvest, low maintenance, something that you can't get at all fresh. So if you do like them fresh, again, when I'm growing things in my garden, I want to pick unusual plants that I can't get elsewhere. Things that the only source for them is in my garden, but they are a nutrient dense food. So this is an example of that. This plant I got at a local nursery for $5. So, and again, I can tip root it and propagate it very easily. Let's have one more look at the mature fruits hanging on there. So very easy to propagate, very easy to take care of, low investment, high yield. Just making sure that you keep it contained so it doesn't kind of get away from you. Again, also, if it does tip root, you can just pull those up, cut it off where it touches the ground, pot it up and give it to a friend. So I think sometimes people are afraid of plants, like, oh my gosh, this plant's gonna escape and take over my entire garden. This is not like that. You may end up with it walking a little bit, but it's easy to pull those up and contain it. And again, share those plants with your friends, or give yourself a whole hedge of them if you wanna grow a ton. So, okay, that's my look at Lyceum barbarum, the goji berry, here in my Portland, Oregon garden in September. I'm hoping it will continue to fruit, and all of these green fruits on it will mature, and I'm going to get a pretty good crop. When I do, I'll probably put something up on my blog or my Facebook page about how I dry them and use them in granola and things like that. So please feel free and give this video a thumbs up. Please like our page, and I will be back next week with another video. Thank you.